What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American, here today to react and continue learning about Bergen's hidden gems and iconic landmarks. Part 2. If you haven't seen Part 1, feel free to go check that out first, or stay here in part 2. That's perfectly fine. But in part 1, we started looking at the Norwegian city of Bergen. And what I love about this so far is that we are looking at some of the lesser known places in Bergen. At least for Americans, these are lesser known. So I'm very excited today to continue my journey through Bergen and see what other places there are that I've never seen before. So with that being said, let's take a look. Oh, see, even stuff like this is super cool to me. Like the streets and the roads made out of like brick and cobblestone, and the buildings are all painted white. Like, even this kind of thing might seem like so normal and average for a Norwegian living in Bergen, but this is the kind of cool thing like that I love to see.
Bergen got a lot of charming streets. Some of them are a bit hidden, but
Okay.
here are 3 of my favorites.
Okay, cool.
The Kort Pilsmabbe Street is a steep, picturesque, and supposedly one of the oldest streets.
Oh my god, what is this? How do you say this? Kort Pil Smoet? This street is beautiful. This is like out of a movie or something. What? And it's like all painted white?
Kort Pilsmabbe Street is a steep, picturesque, and supposedly
And it's downhill. This looks like I don't know, I wanted to say like heaven or something. It's everything's so bright and beautiful, and the street is made of stone. This is like one of the coolest streets I've ever seen anywhere.
one of the oldest streets in Bergen, dating back to the Middle Ages.
Wow.
A visit to Kort Pilsmabbe is a chance to step back in time and experience the unique charm of old Bergen.
Yeah.
The top of the street ends on an inviting square.
What? And this, it's like, I don't know when in Bergen's history were all of these buildings created, and who decided to paint them these colors? Is this something that happened a long time ago? Because that's really cool that like Norwegians like back in the day decided to paint the city in such a really cool collection of like vibrant random colors that you don't see cities painted like this like anywhere else that I know of anyway, certainly not in America.
With many colorful buildings. From here is a short walk to the Knøssesmabbe Street,
Okay.
a narrow cobblestone street with beautiful old wooden houses.
Wow. So these streets must all be in like a similar area of Bergen. They're all kind of similar looking, but in an absolutely amazing way. Like, this is, it's amazing that even the streets in Bergen are like special.
Probably one of the most photographed streets in Bergen.
Okay.
Take a moment to pause and admire the historic architecture.
I am taking many moments to pause. So these are special streets in Bergen. It's not like every street looks like these streets. Okay. Like even in Bergen, these are a little bit special. Okay.
Or find a bench to sit on and soak in the cozy atmosphere while watching the locals walk by. Head back.
Man, this is just so beautiful. I want to see this shot again of the buildings. It's just so
In the
beautiful.
cozy atmosphere.
This right here. This is so freaking cool. The buildings and the streets these are, you know, when he said, oh, let's take a look at a couple of the streets in Bergen, I was thinking, how good can like some streets be? These are amazing.
While watching the locals walk by. Head back up and find the Ytre Markveien street.
Okay.
Ytre Markveien is a residential street, and as you
Okay.
walk along, you'll get a sense of that local community's charm and character.
This literally looks like straight out of like hundreds of years ago, out of a history book or something. I love that Bergen has managed to preserve these older buildings and architecture and roads Like most of all the cities in the United States are extremely modern looking. They look new, they have new buildings, like modern architecture. Like this is simply not something you can find in America. This is awesome.
It embodies a sense of warmth and coziness that is characteristic of Bergen's close-knit neighborhoods.
Yeah.
The street is adorned with trees, flower beds, and green spaces, adding a touch of
And a
natural
cat
beauty.
and a cat as well. That's so cool that like for many Norwegians they just live here. Like to me this is amazing, but for some people this is just normal everyday life.
To the surroundings. You can also expect to be greeted by the local cats, some quite friendly and some not so much.
Cool. Oh, and if you want, you can bicycle around town as well. Also, not something you'd find many Americans doing voluntarily, bicycling. Oh, these are like rental bikes. These are like rental bikes or something. That's cool. That's really nice.
This building behind me here is called for USF. And I think for a lot of visitors to Bergen, this is still a bit of a well-kept secret.
Okay.
USF stands for United Sardine Factory.
This is a well-kept secret. USF. It's even not that well known to Norwegians. Even this is like secret. A sardine factory though. Is that a cool place to visit? A sardine factory?
Although there are no sardines anymore in here, this building has been repurposed some years back and is now full of workshops for artists, art galleries.
Oh,
There's a
wow.
cinematheque as well. There are concert venues. Perhaps my favorite place is the restaurant over on the corner.
What? No way. They repurposed it. I was like, sardine factory? Are you sure we want to look at this? It's actually, they repurposed it, which is really cool. Rather than destroying it or tearing it down, they kept this old factory, and now people can like hang their art in it. And there's a restaurant.
You can sit and enjoy a drink and have a beautiful view over the sea.
Wow. Oh my god. This also, I forget like Bergen is like there's so much sea next to it, so much water. It's known as like a harbor sort of city, right? And also all the mountains around it. I didn't realize it was surrounded by mountains. That's incredible. Oh man. Wow, I'm like every little frame has something else in it. Like even here in the distance, there's like people who live up in the hills, by the hills and mountains as well, like around Bergen. Wow. I love some of these random shots of the area. Like what's that across the river? What's all that? Is that like part of Bergen? Or is that like a community of houses of people who live near Bergen? Wow.
So we took our city bikes and we rode them all the way out to a place here which is called Nordnes. And if you look
Okay.
at the map, this is a peninsula that goes
Oh yeah, I should look at this map. I should just look at this map for a second. Yeah, Bergen is a bunch of peninsulas separated by water. So right now we're on the very tip, Totempel.
south. And out at the tip here, you find the aquarium of Bergen, but you also find two other nice things. First of all, there's a wonderful
Well, what is this? What is this pole? What? Wait, are we just passing up? What is this like random wooden pole here? What is that? Are we gonna explain this?
First of all, there's a wonderful panoramic view over the sea where you can really enjoy the views of
Wow.
the surroundings of Bergen. Another cool thing that you find out here at Nordnes is this totem pole.
There we are. we are. Okay, perfect. I was like, are we gonna talk about this?
That I have behind me. This was a gift from the city of Seattle because Bergen and Seattle are sister cities. So when Bergen had its 900 years anniversary as a city,
What? This is from the United States? This is from Seattle? like Seattle, Washington, in the United States. We sent this totem pole to Norway, Bergen. Well, I'm not from Seattle, so I don't know anything about this.
Seattle, they gave this as a gift, and it's still standing here today in the Nordnes Park.
Seattle, are we talking about Seattle in America? Is that what we're saying here?
So this is a nice spot to visit when you come to Bergen.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Well, it's getting pretty late in the day, but we still have one final thing to do, and that is to hike up Stoltsekleiva, the Stoltse.
How do you say this? Stoltsekleiva. This is some kind of hike or something.
The Stoltse Hill. I just talked to a guy. He said he used 25 minutes to get up in a fairly fast pace. He looked at how I was dressed, and he said you'll probably use a bit more. So
that's really cool. That's like the perfect amount of time for like a hike that you can do in a day very easily. 25 minutes up, 25 minutes to get back down. So it's more like 50 minutes, like an hour of hiking. That'd actually be really cool if you live in Bergen. This would like be a very nice hike to do. Get in touch with nature, get some exercise. And if you're visiting Bergen, this just looks like a really cool hike that most Americans would be able to do, because that's important. We can only handle so much with the hiking.
Oh, I'm thinking we would use about 45 minutes up. We're not really dressed for it, but what's the worst that can happen? Let's go.
Okay.
So it's not open. So he said 17 to 18 minutes, but he looks pretty fit, huh?
So it can take anywhere from 20 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on how slow you are. This is a really nice path that they built. I just want to say that. A very, very nice stone path they built. So this hike must be very clear where to go.
Oh, wow.
Stoltsekleiven is a popular hiking trail in Bergen, offering both locals and tourists an exhilarating outdoor experience.
Yeah. This gets you more into the woods, more into nature than I thought. The beginning looked pretty open. This is actually really cool. Like, this actually gets you into the forest a bit.
The trail begins at Fjellveien, climbing first up a steep road and then approximately 908 stone and wooden steps to reach the summit. Throughout the climb, you're rewarded with stunning panoramic views of Bergen.
Oh my god, that's right. If you decide to do this hike and you get to the top, you get this whole amazing view from a really high place.
And the sparkling waters of the sea. I think
Okay, the hike gets a little more complicated, maybe by American standards. Like, you have to go up some of these rocky, like, stairs and stuff. That's cool.
Stoltsekleiven is an ideal destination for those seeking a challenging workout or a thrilling adventure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel like Americans, like, we would get outside more, we would exercise more, if only we had access to really, really cool hikes and trails like this. If this was more common in America, we would be more in touch with nature. I think that's a big reason why Norwegians do get outside and are healthier. You have a lot cooler like hikes and trails and stuff. I'm a bit jealous. And it is also cool. I almost forgot. This is like right from Bergen. So you can be in this big, massive Norwegian city and still have access to nature in this way. Wow.
It's a fairly strenuous hike, but I mean, I'm an averagely trained man, 42 years old, with bad shoes, and I think I'm gonna make it. So, just take your time.
Oh my god, like look at these stairs. That's really steep. Like, that's actually really steep, like, from my point of view. I'm decently athletic, and that actually looks like this might actually give, like, a lot of Americans some serious trouble. That's actually a lot steeper than I thought.
Do it in your own pace, and I'm sure you will get to the top.
True. Oh, they built some wooden stairs.
Dark. All right, so pretty Nice hike so far. My knees are trembling a bit. I'm definitely feeling all these steps. We come to these wooden steps here, and from what I've heard, that means there's about 100 steps left. It's gonna be tough, but luckily we have a secret weapon. Oops. We have some Freia milk chocolate.
What is this? Oh, when in Bergen, when hiking up the Stolzlekleiven, you gotta have some Norwegian chocolate, of course.
Which will get us all the way. So, one for the cameraman.
I'm a little disappointed it's not a Kvik lunch. Do Norwegians actually eat chocolate on hikes? Because, like in America, eating chocolate and like snack food, junk food, most people would think it's very, very strange to do, like outdoors or during a physical activity. Is this normal or kind of a joke?
Thank you. And one for me.
It'll get them to the top.
Ut på tur, aldri sur.
Oh, ut på tur, aldri sur. Out on a hike, never grumpy.
Saying.
Nice.
You made it.
Wow, so this is the top.
It's up here.
It's like there's a bunch of picnic tables and stuff. Oh, you can go higher. Wow. This is cool. This is the reward for hiking to the top. This view is insane. It's like the most perfect view of Bergen. Like if you visit Bergen, you have to do this.
We made it to the top. This was such a tough hike to do after a long day in Bergen. But coming up here, seeing this view, it is just breathtaking.
Oh my
it was
God.
Definitely worth it.
Oh, and it's really cool. All the lights are on now too.
It's been a long day and it's been really fun to share Bergen with you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Subscribe to my channel for more Norway with Paul.
That was fantastic. That was so cool. I really liked this. This video is by Norway with Paul, and I gotta give it a like, because I really did like that. I really appreciated how he went around to the different parts of Bergen that are a little more obscure, a little less known. Like, as an American, I don't know much about Bergen to begin with, so seeing some of these hidden gems and less talked about places, that was really special for me today. That was actually really, really cool. So I enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on Bergen or any other hidden cool things in Bergen that weren't mentioned here. That'd be cool to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.